We don't have power plants that are nuclear.
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh, I'm afraid of fucking nuclear, right? So all of it is outdated, old school fucking coal. It's coal. It's
So it's gas like, anyways.
It's creating all this. It's like, what are you thinking about?
Hey, do you want to hate California even more?
I don't think that's possible, but sure.
I'd like to see you try.
So California is trying to mandate something called speed limiters in the cars. By 2032, they want every car on the road to, when you go over the speed limit, to make a beeping noise so that you know you're going over the speed limit.
Oh, God.
Because American cars already have a governor.
Yeah.
Like if you buy like a Camaro or whatever, or Silverado, like it'll just stop at
go
80.
over, like,
You'll keep gassing it, and even though you see that it can go to 140, it just like stops.
Wait, why? It just on purpose?
So
I don't know the real reason why, but they have it, and then so I had to get the governor removed on my truck.
That was my follow-up question.
Did you hear about the miles tax?
what?
Yeah,
California's trying to tax, like it was like 13 cents a mile or something
For the amount you drive?
for, individually depending on what.
And you know what the stupid ass reason why is? So they were, you know how California was a huge proponent of electric cars?
Yeah.
They're like by 2030 or whatever, no gas car will be sold.
You're so stupid.
So they're like, okay, cool. A for whatever fucking initiative they're trying to push there. Then they started calculating, oh wait, the reason, what's gonna happen to all the gas tax? Because they have tax that they put into, that's why California gas is so expensive. But those taxes pay for a bunch of other.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, so by 2030, that means we're not gonna have this gas tax.
Funding's gonna take.
So they're like, it's gonna take a hit, so what are we gonna do? Oh, I know, well, dude, that'll hit both cars equally, mileage. So that's the reason why they're trying to propose this thing.
I heard they're gonna do that in Vegas too. That's what I heard.
Nah.
That's what I heard. I heard it's gonna be 15 cents.
Ours is gonna be half a mile. $8 a mile in Summerlin only.
Yeah.
You're fucked, dude. You gotta move.
That's one of the things that they're doing all kinds of different stuff like that. And have you ever heard the thing about how the electric car thing is never even gonna work here? Because of the infrastructure itself doesn't allow for anybody who's not a homeowner, it's gonna be hard for them to charge it.
Yeah.
So then if you're making everybody have, like, some people don't even have garages. Some people have only street parking
That's
where they
true.
live. Like if they live in K-Town or something. It's like there's no way that it's gonna be all electric until you have the infrastructure.
That's only because the tech hasn't been developed yet. Because what they're working on, for example, is the charging pads that like are just built in the roads, so you could just hover your car on top of a street.
it's
Nothing
charging.
needs to plug in. So they're already working on that. Like Tesla's working on that for their robo-taxis, because it's not meant to just like every robo-taxi has to go back to a spot and plug in. Instead, all of them are going to be able to like get to a place where once it gets on top of a green street or whatever, it's already charging.
So it's charging while you're driving on the street?
Or if you're parking in an area, like that area maybe has like a built-in like whatever.
Do you think that infrastructure will be in place by the time?
Because they said 2030 or something.
Yeah, but even with 2030, like once all the fucking
That's very soon.
like huge cars like General Motors, Ford, all of them, once they realized after putting billions into trying to like turn EV, it wasn't effective, they started going, oh well, everybody only wants hybrids. So they started campaigning and lobbying to push back the 2030 thing that they had already all agreed to, and now they're trying to completely cancel it in general, because they're just like, no, we have to have like the combination hybrid cars. And
Actually, hybrid is the most eco-friendly.
Yeah.
Because they showed there was a graph of lithium batteries, right? And then the amount of waste it takes to produce one EV car. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like you could produce like 30, 40 like hybrid cars with the one. Another thing is I don't even know why no one's talking about how electricity is produced. We don't have power plants that are nuclear.
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh, I'm afraid of fucking nuclear, right? So all of it is outdated, old school fucking coal. It's coal. It's fucking. It's.
So it's gas anyways.
It's creating all this. It's like, what are you fucking thinking about? Like,
Yeah, gas is still more efficient, I think.
Yeah, I think hybrid's the best.
dare
dude.
you.
I think hybrid's number one.
But the
Hybrids
problem
are
with
best.
gas and oil is it puts us into a different international and potential like
Dependency.
which obviously is why half the world fucking hates us already. You know what I mean? So
But doesn't that dependency happen because we refuse to drill domestically?
So we have enough reserves in the States, but we're using everyone else's. Because militarily, it's a strategy of like, it's like you use up and buy all the other reserves. If shit hits the fan, we're self-sustainable.
Oh, that's. I
can
never thought of that.
We can last hundreds of years. So that's one of the things is like, why drill when you can still buy from overseas? And then so there's like layers of protection. I think that they think about. It's not just consumerism, but it's also like, how do you become a strong nation that doesn't have to be dependent if shit hits the fan?
That's the super macro view. So I was just like in Korea, and we were just talking because we saw some news about like America and guns and stuff. And then like people were saying like, oh, isn't that crazy? Like that's why Americans. I mean, people look at Americans as crazy because they like guns and they have all these things. And I was like, if you zoom out, like really, really zoom out, the reason why a person in Korea could even have the opinion that America is crazy about guns is because of America. If it had it not be for America, South Korea would still be a third world country being butt fucked by Japan.
Damn.
You know what I mean? It's like because we have bases all over the world, we control the fucking world, that we allowed everyone to become a first world country to even have a opinion. So it's kind of like it's like the lesser of the two evils type thing.
Yeah.
It's like because we tap into the world's reserve of oil and we are the world police and and then you have to consider who are the benefactors of us being the world police.
That's why there's warmongers and stuff where people that are for war, because it sounds ridiculous like when you hear it firsthand. It's like, why would you want to like kill people and go to war for? But then when, like you said, you zoom out, you look at the history and like everything, it's like, oh yeah, it makes sense why there's war. Because if you don't have war, then you're not gonna have like progress. You're not gonna have like all this other shit that comes with it. But in the end, yes, it does bring like economic like, you know, destabilization, and it really fucks the people up mentally because it's like you're killing people and everybody's just like arguing all the time about it. But there's like both sides to it too.
Yeah, it's like you need some type of stability, and in order to do that, you kind of got to have the biggest guns and nuclear weapons.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate. You gotta bomb some fools.
Not unfortunate for us.
Because if you don't have that, then there's someone else with nuclear weapons and guns that will take over.
And they might not be as nice.
They might not.
Yeah.
Who knows?
You just don't know.
No, I think they would be nice.
Because the cool thing is, if you're a country, it's almost as if when you get invaded by America, you're like, oh, cool. Because you know your wife's not gonna get raped. They're not gonna fuck your kids. You know, like if you imagine you get invaded by ISIS, you're like, fuck, they're gonna slit everyone's throat and my entire family. It's almost as if like, if America invades, and this is the sad part to say, if America does invade your country, you're probably gonna get AC'd in the next 2 or 3 generations. Your wife is gonna be left probably untouched. No one's gonna get fucking butt fucked.
She's gonna be able to drive.
Yeah. It's out of all the world polices, America's still kind of tight.
Like if
If
other countries were world police, they would probably be doing the best.
Well, I mean, Japan and Korea is a great example, right? They came in, they fucking butt fucked Japan like a motherfucker. But what did they do after that? They rebuilt it. They invested into Japan. Eisenhower at the time, he had a New Deal program that he was going to execute in the U.S., but this whole new system, they tested it out in Japan. And then so Japan got the benefits, and same with Germany. Those two countries got the benefits of kind of like America 2.0 that they wanted to test out here, but they didn't get a chance to do it. So when you see those two
wipe
countries,
out a couple bloodlines is all.
So you're saying you're pro atomic bomb?
but when you saw, well, Germany didn't have to do the atomic bomb, but if you can see how they basically they won, America won, right? But they went in and they rebuilt it. Germany was like top dog of Europe. Japan at the time before China, blew up, as in like blew up economically, they
Good save.
they're crushing it. And those are two war-torn countries that were absolutely destroyed after World War II. But America invested into it, they rebuilt it, they taught them how to like be self-governing. They built them up. So I was like, that's not a bad way of being colonized. Or, you know what I mean? Like,
It sounds weird
yeah,
to say it,
it's
but
true,
it makes
yeah.
sense though.
But
like,
you do have to
like-
look at that.
same with the
Lesser of
Philippines.
evils,
Do you
yeah.
remember when
Yeah.
in World War II, Japan came in, destroyed the Philippines and whatever? When America, it used to be an American colony, but when MacArthur came in, the Filipinos were like, yes, come on back. We hate these Japs.
Yeah, come invade, please.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's like now they understood what it was like. Okay, when they're an American colony, it wasn't that cool. But when they were a Japanese colony, it was worse.
fucked, yeah.
It was way worse.
Yeah.
It's like no one wants a stepdad, but if your stepdad's white, it's kind of tight.
There's perks.
You know what's crazy though, in terms of country scale? Have you seen those things about California? If it were to become a country, it would have a bigger GDP than India.
Yeah, it's like top
I
10.
think it's top 5.
India though?
We're
That many fucking people in India and California.
California GDP is
Well, they don't sell green juices. India don't
We
sell green
make
juices.
sick shit though. Fucking
Yeah.
these bad boys. We make sick
We
shit.
sell aloe vera out here.
and entertainment.
Yeah, wouldn't it be? It would be like number 9 or something, or 6. Yeah. So one of
I mean, that's the reason why
crazy.
California has all these crazy tax things, right? Because then, like, so the issue started like 50 years ago because, you know, like when people were talking about California dreaming and all that, right? The whole like people coming to California, that happened like after the war. Yeah. So before, and then also people didn't live in beach towns. It was actually like very affordable because no one wanted to a beach on like beach house or whatever. But then hella people from other states were like, yo, it's always sunny here. There's no rain, whatever. Because most people lived on the East Coast. And then when they started moving over here, California incentivized major manufacturing productions, all that, right? So Goodyear came, all the car manufacturers came, everybody came in. And then they did it with tax breaks and all that stuff. But then they couldn't sustain like the population with the corporate tax not happening and all that stuff. And then they start giving these sweet ass retirement deals for government employees where whatever you maxed out at, that's what you retire with. So let's say you're a fireman and you maxed out with $400K a year. Then you know how many little cities we have in California? That's every single one of those, every single government employee, every year when you retire, and they retire in their 50s until they die for the next 20, 30 years, you get $400K.
Damn.
That's nuts.
That's taxpayer money, right? And then all the corporations were like, fuck this. Now you want to tax us? We're out. And then they start leaving. And then California has this too big to fail mentality where they're like, I'm making so much fucking money off of this taxes. There's so much people that's constantly moving in. Like, I can't fail. And then the government gets like too egotistical of, we could do whatever we want. We can tax you. We can do this. And then people are going to still want to do business here. But then now they're struggling.
Damn. What a sad note to end on, huh?